Hello there YouTube, this is Tycooners Steve, back for another Let's Play. We're on to episode 11 here. Right now I'm just hanging out at our black bear exhibit that we finished last time. And I have to say, if any of you are thinking of starting up your own Zoo Tycoon channel, start with some black bears, because apparently they're very popular. I about doubled my subscribers, so I want to thank you all for that. Both those new subscribers and the ones that have been with me before. But now we need to turn our attention out this way, where we're going to continue to expand our forest area. And we're going to do it this time by adding in a white-tailed deer exhibit. I've had a few requests for white-tailed deer. I forget if it was multiple people that asked for it or one person that asked many times, but I am all for that. It's a great animal. I've got one from the Artiodactyla pack, which looks great. And so that's what our main goal is going to be today. First thing, I think I'm going to try to spiffy up this pathway here. It was pointed out again in the comments for the last video that it looked a little, well, it just doesn't look that great. And they suggested using more of a wooded theme in order to make it blend in. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And then let me see here. I'm just going to do a couple tests here to try to figure out exactly which one looks best. That's better. It still doesn't look like it's actually made of wood. No. Well, maybe this is technically a safari path, but I know it does have like a wood, wooden pattern. So yeah, I think I'll go with that maybe. And then, of course, we'll have to replace all the fence railings again to get rid of this sort of brown, orangey design it's got going, but I think it's going to look fine then. So let's just plop this down in place. And the other side here, there we go. And I think I'm going to extend this pathway, not quite like that, extend this pathway out. Nah, not quite like that. Because I think I'm going to, instead of just having this elevated area working for the bear pit, I'm going to make you, or make the guest, go on a, like, slightly elevated path trail. So let me bring it down here one, so it's just a little off the ground. But then we'll use that as the base height for observing the deer we're going to put in today, and then I'll probably put in a few more forest animals because I'm getting a lot of requests for those type of animals that'll fit in the forest area. So it's probably going to be bigger than I originally imagined it, but that's okay, that's cool. That's one of the fun things here. Let me find my white-tailed deer. You know what? I mentioned earlier it was in the Artiodactyla pack, so let's just grab that here. Make it a little bit quicker to find. The Artiodactyla pack, that's part of the Snow Leo stuff. Links are in the descriptions, of course, for all of my... There it is, white-tailed deer. For all of the different animals and downloads I use, I always put the links there. I think I do. Maybe I forgot this one. So if I did, I apologize, but it should be there. Okay. And I think this fence is going to look good. I haven't, this is one of the exhibits I'm just kind of going to be making up as I go along. I don't really have a pre-planned thing for the deer here. So I'm just going to try to make this interesting exhibit, you know, keep it as unique looking as possible. Yeah, that's probably going to be good. Let me just extend the path here. So I'll have a straight one going through, and then I'll curve it in so there's like a little observation area. Not that deep. Okay, it wants to fight me, so we'll just delete the excess. There we go. And I think that's going to look pretty good, because that fence is a little bit higher than our pathway. Let me switch down here. Yeah, I kind of like that effect that that fence has right there. Okay, yeah, that's going to be really nice. And let's just go ahead and zoom out here. And I don't think the deers have an actual shelter. They have these guys, the shades. Yeah, let me go ahead and put this one here towards the back of the exhibit. And I'll put like a big rock up front, that's fine. And just ground cover here. Since this is a white-tailed deer exhibit, I'm probably going to put in a lot more foliage than I usually do. Deers are pretty skittish in real life, so they tend not to go into large open areas. Anyone who sees Bambi probably knows why, but we want to make sure our exhibit reflects that. So we're going to make sure that there's plenty of cover that our deers can get to. Not that you necessarily need it for the white-tailed deers in this game, they'll pretty much react like any animals, but it just makes the exhibit look more like a real exhibit you would find for a white-tailed deer. And right now I'm just going to find another fence so I can put up kind of a shelter for them. It's probably too light. Let me see what this looks like when it's not green. Yeah, that's a little too light. Just put in... Well, you know what? Maybe I want to go with that like dark wooden fence. If I can scroll down here all the way to the bottom, I think is where it usually is. It's kind of the brick fence. Brick fence? No. Let's go with the dark wood. Yeah, here it is. That's set right down here at the bottom. Let's scroll too far there. And I guess I'll put it straight back here since there's kind of an indent here. I wasn't really thinking, but I think that's going to work well. No, not that far over. Let's just take it straight back from here then. And basically I'm just going to use this as a place to sort of put their food. That way they have a reason for actively going inside, and it'll make it, well, can function more like an actual exhibit would. Okay, so that's down, and I'm actually going to change it a little bit here to make it a slanted roof, I think. Yeah, we'll raise these things up to a 4, and then we'll switch the other ones down to a 3-4, so it's kind of sloping in, like so. And drag it straight across here on the back. Yeah, that looks like the right size there. I'm okay. Let's go ahead and grab a roof. I'm just going to use this darker wood here because I kind of want this roof to blend in. Hopefully we'll have a... Like I said, I'm going to put a lot of foliage in, so I want to kind of disguise this towards the back. And I guess I need to start here. Yep, that gets it to line up fine. Beautiful. Whoop, that's too far. Oh, okay, I didn't mean to make that. Now it's fighting me today. Come on. Come on. Like there. Yes? Yes, okay. Alright, and one more, and let's just go ahead and delete this excess part here. Get rid of it all. And yeah, actually I'm going to leave that. Let me go ahead here and grab some post, and we'll just incorporate that extra into the design. So it looks like they have a little shaded area before they actually go into their exhibit, or their shelter. They're in the exhibit the whole time, hopefully. And it was a 3 high, so let me just zoom in here so I can line this up nice and straight. Like so. One, and around the corner here. Okay, and while I've got this open, let me go ahead and grab some of CRG's hay so I can sort of make it look like we've padded up their shelter area so it's a nice, fun place for them to lay down. Let me turn down the transparency on the roof here so I can see what I'm doing. This is usually why I leave roofs to the last thing I do on a shelter, but for some reason I didn't do it there. I just kind of blanked out. So we'll just lay down some hay and go ahead and put the food in. Well, we've got a pretty limited menu, so we'll just put in a water trough over here and branches over here. Yeah, that should be good. Okay. Turn back around and yeah, that's not bad. Okay. Let me grab one of these ferns. If you remember from last time we posted, I'm trying to use these ferns as sort of the base, like the grass almost, of our forest area, just to get it a little bit thicker cover. So let's drop in a whole bunch of these guys. And these things without a name, once again, as our middle area. And like I said, I'm going to be putting this in pretty thick around the deers here. So we'll just go right ahead and... I don't know why, but for some reason I always like to, like if there's a corner on the fencing, I always kind of put plants in that corner. I don't know why. It just kind of pleases me aesthetically. Grab some of these red pines here. Here, like one right in front of it, again, because I kind of want the shelter hidden, guys. Note to self, I need to make sure that there is a path that the deers can walk back to that shelter, so they're not, like, blocked off from it, because I put in so many trees, I've knocked out the hitbox. Okay, just a little note to myself, and to you if you're following along. Let's change it up a little bit. Instead of just using those larger trees, let's make sure we grab some of those cook pines that we were using earlier. Here's one. I'm going to just make a copy of it from our eagle exhibit. And like that. Yeah, that's not too bad so far. No, we're not done yet. Let's get it really nice and thick around here. Yeah, let me grab some more of the middle plant. And we'll just kind of line these up on the side, so it almost looks like there's just a pathway going back to that shaded structure. Oop. Okay. And coat out the background. And I think this is going to look great. It's going to be like one of those displays in actual zoos that I really hate, where you can never see the animal. Hopefully not, but I'm not entirely happy with the look of that shelter now that I see it from this level. It looks a little too open, so I'll probably make some adjustments here. Like I said, I'm kind of making this one up on the fly. I didn't have a blueprint going in. But first, let's put in some ground cover by adding some more of these ferns. And be really nice and liberal with them. And these are considered bushes. The main difference between things that are considered bushes and things that are considered trees in Zoo Tycoons 2 is that the animals can walk through the bushes. They cannot walk through the trees, so it is a hitbox thing. Okay. Paint the ground. Let's just paint it all like this, and we'll add the dirt in later. In fact, yeah, we'll add the dirt in, and then I think I'm going to put a little pond thing right up front here too. So let's grab some shallow water here and try not to make it a perfect circle. And I like the pond, but it looks like I may have messed up my fencing here. Yes, I did. I accidentally ended up putting a little divot in the ground there. That's just a thing that happens when you do any alterations in the terrain underneath an elevated path. It kind of messes itself up here. So I'll have to get rid of this elevated path here for a second, and we'll get this all fixed, just like that. And change this from water to dirt, and then I can level it out and put the path back on. And you can see how there where I altered the terrain and everything, even though I was telling it to be flat, the path kind of sunk in underneath the elevated walkway. So that's just a pro tip. You should really do all of your path level alterations first and then put in the elevated pathways. But let's go ahead and put this back together. And I'm not still 100% sure I like this safari path. So if you guys have a better idea, let me know in the comments. I do like the fact that it does look like a little wood, like it has a wood tile pattern almost. And let's extend this out here just so I have a clearer idea of exactly how big my viewing area is going to be. Because I want it a little wider than that. That's only like one wide if you don't count the diagonal part. So I don't know if I want it that big. Let's take a little bit back here. That's too wide like that. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. And oh, let me do it when I can see the trees. So yeah, let's yeah, okay, let's go ahead and work on that shelter now. I'm going to turn off the trees for a second just so I can get a better look at it. And yep, we'll just go ahead and okay, well, we'll just go ahead and do a little altering here. Just so, because the entrance to it looks so open, it doesn't look right to my sense. So what I'm going to do is kind of make it affected by, instead of having that sheltered area stick straight out from where the roof connects, I'm going to lower it one level. And let me go ahead and grab the backing I need here, just to give it, this will give it a little more character and also not make the entrance such a huge wide gap. Oh, and that affected the top, so it looks a little off. Okay, I'll fix that in a second. Let me go ahead and go through here and grab, it should be too high now, but I'll grab it too high for the post. Now we'll just slide this baby right into place. Like that. Is that right? No, it's not quite right. Let's try this again. No, like there. There we go. And same thing on this side. Lined up perfect like there. And now let me find a lining to go along the top of the roof here that's going to be consistent throughout, because when we put those backings on, you can see it messed it up a little. Is this one going to be right? No. That's actually the one it currently has, so obviously that one's not going to work. We'll try this low railing here. No, that one pretty much has the same effect as the other one. This one. Same effect? Yeah, it would. I'll get this. Trust me. I'm an expert at this game. Trust me. I'm not just, making stuff up as I go along. That would be silly. Let's try this guy right here. I think this one's gonna work. Yeah, okay, that one looks like it's shallow enough. It should look consistent throughout. Now, there it is. Very good. So that's the one that I obviously wanted the whole time. Alright, trees back on. And let's switch back to guest mode again so we can take a look at that and make sure it's looking good. Still not in love with that. That way looks pretty good. And I probably want to block that area off so I can't see that pathway as good. So, definitely going to put some more trees down that way. But first, let me go ahead and redo the railing on our elevated pathway. And I think we went just to there. Well, I guess it doesn't matter where we went before. We'll just put it where it looks right now. And yeah, I was a little off there. You know what? Okay, I've just made a decision. Instead of doing that bamboo like we started last time, I'm going to go with this glass railing that has a darker wood. I think it's just going to blend in a little bit nicer. Well, if I could ever click right. Like that. It's going to stick out less, and it's going to make me a lot happier. So that's what we're doing. It's decided. Oh, and there's a pathway problem down there. I'll fix that in a second. In the meantime, let's go ahead and... Well, I'm not going to bother putting there because I'll have a pathway coming down, but we need to fix this little jagged thing going in here. So we just turn down the opacity, and yep, we've got one that's needs to be deleted. We must have messed this up when I was redoing the height there to get the fence even again. Okay, so I just want to delete this little triangle, and I bet you it's not going to let me just delete the little triangle. No. 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 Come on. Let's try to get it from a different angle, maybe. Okay, I want the slanted one going up. It's the bottom one here that I need to delete. Like that? No, like that. That's the one I want. Yes. Alright, let's turn it up and hopefully it'll look right. Yay! I figured it out. All by myself. Okay. And this should be that same low forest elevated path. And this is probably not going to be the end of the path eventually, but I'll just cut it off for now, just for my sanity. And let's go ahead and put down that dark wood with the glass that we just put up in front of the bears, which was right around, it was right here. And I'm hoping that that merges with the actual fence of the deer exhibit, because I kind of like that effect. So let's go ahead and check that. It did. It did. Yeah, that's not bad. Not bad. Let's turn on the trees, because I keep forgetting to do that. Yeah, it's actually a pretty interesting effect. I'm still not in love with that shelter, but let's keep looking around. I do need to disguise that there's an entrance to the bear shelter down there a little bit. So let's go ahead and grab this middle grass and we'll just fill up the entire area here with a pretty thick cover of it. And I think that's going to look pretty good aesthetically speaking too, from the pathway. And even if you're on the area right in front of our black bear exhibit, I think it'll look pretty good. And this down right there. I think that's all. That's going to be sufficient in and of itself. Any other really good plants that I'm missing the ball on? Some wildflowers. I don't think these wildflowers look the greatest, do they? No, not really. Okay, what about trees? Anything good there I'm missing the boat on? Oh! I can use some of these, I think they're just called logs, but I really like how they are. And they've got a few really good variant skins. I have no clue where they came from at this point, which usually means you need to check on the round table. Again, the link's in the description. And let's take a look. Yeah, you can only barely see that shade structure in the background, but the deer should have no problem getting to it. So now I'm just going to pause here, and I'm thinking I'm going to close up the structure a wee bit. Yeah, get rid of that. And let me just go ahead and grab a level 3. Yeah, it was a level 3 fence. So, oh, there we go. 3. And we'll just slide this post over so it connects again. Yeah, okay. That's probably going to be better. Before I give it the final thumbs up, let's take a peek. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Yeah, I'm actually really liking that. I think the artiodactyl fence blends in well there. And yeah, it's definitely got a lot more foliage than I would usually put, but I think it looks pretty realistic, so I'm very happy with it. Let's go ahead and actually add our deer. I think we'll put in 2 does and just 1 buck. There's probably enough territory here for more than that, but well, I'm not going to push it. Let's go ahead and make sure we put in an entrance. I'll put it in the back side of their shelter here. And we'll drop in a zookeeper and assign it. Oh, that area's looking pretty bare. Before we get to our zookeeper, let's fill this in. Like so. And now the zookeeper. Okay. Lop you down. Zookeeper Flood. Interesting name. Your parents must not have liked you, Miss Flood, but okay. Yeah, I guess it would be a last name. I take that back. Your parents probably loved you a whole lot. I'm sorry. Okay. And let me go ahead and dress up this viewing area a little bit. First and foremost, of course, we'll want our donation box. Just put it here on the left-hand side, like so. And let me grab some benches and stuff for our guest. Let's use this log one. It's a forest bench is what's technically called, so that'll fit in well with the area. Look a little different. I think it's the first time I've used a different type of bench in here, in this zoo, but that's fine. Yeah, we can put one of our lamps. I used those lamps earlier at the very entrance to our forest area, so let's keep the theming going, like so. And speaking of theming, last time I tried slapping down a restaurant in this area, like a sit-down restaurant, and it just clashed a little bit. You could see it like bright neon colors from the bear display, so I decided to take it out. But there is, since we're using these forest things from the European Expedition Pack, there is a forest food stand. And so let's go ahead and plop that in. In fact, let's go ahead and just do up this whole area. While I'm thinking about it, while I'm here, let me grab an ATM, because I don't think I've had one of those since our food court area. Probably said that in the last video, but it still remains true. And there is like a gift cart that's a forest gift card, if I'm not mistaken. These are all food carts. Where's the... I thought I saw it. Oh, no? Yes, there it was. Okay, so we'll put in a food cart here. And that sells like all the dessert items in the game, if you're going to use it. And we'll just alter the borders to our forest area slightly by putting these guys down. Maybe that should be the tall log fence. You know what, I'm not sure. Let's just leave it as that way now, and if I have to go back and correct it later, I will. But for now, that's going to be okay, I think. Let me grab some seats. Where are you? Come on, I want people to have a place to sit after. Oh, you know what? Since we put in white-tailed deers, and since apparently we're going to use the entire European Expedition pack, let's put in one of these white-tailed deer statues. At least I think it's supposed to be a white-tailed deer. I'm not positive, but it's close enough. I'll slap one down there. It'll look nice. Yeah, I can't think of any other statues, so let's go ahead and find those seats I'm looking for. I think these ones are actually the American Adventure. Yeah, there they are. Log table is what they're called. And we'll just drop down. Oh, we'll go ahead and drop 2. See, this is why it pays to leave sort of wider areas on the path. Because anytime you need to go back and add some seating areas or anything special like that, you will have those areas available to you. And trash can. Let's flip that around so I can just tuck it in this corner here. And we'll put down a recycling bin too. Like so. I'm going to forget. I should really buy another engineer and start them in this area, but I'm going to forget. So, if I do forget, just put it in the comments. Because right now I want to finish off the foliage. I'm dragging more of this plant, what has no name, through the area here. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm sorry. I know I pause a lot in these videos, but I like to do a lot of thinking on the fly, and so sometimes I'm thinking about whether I want to do something or not, and I kind of zone out for a second. What I was debating there was whether or not I should put an actual path down for these guys, and I decided that yes, indeed, I should go ahead and just put a path down here. I'm not sure if the guests would have needed it. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have, but I think it's going to look better being a little more formalized like that. Okay, and of course we do have to give thought to the other side of the river here. And the reason why I went heavy with that taller, medium-sized plant that I don't know the name for is because I'm going to try to use it not only to keep consistent inside the forest area, but I want to use it from the perspective of the river, almost like we were using the bamboo earlier, where that's going to be sort of that middle area. As I drag it across here, it's going to cover that middle area in between the Russian thistles and our English oaks. And that's going to allow us to keep a consistent look on both ends. Both the forest area will have the plant that's going to run throughout it, and the English oak Russian thistle area is going to have a backing to it. So we're kind of getting a best of both worlds thing. And we'll drop you down here. And let me just find a spot this can actually be put, like there. Can't quite cover that up, but that might not be the worst thing. Okay, let's unpause for a second and go ahead and get down on this side of the river and take a look. Yeah. Oh, that bathroom actually looks really good with that forest around it. I'm happy with that. And you can kind of see the eagles, and I think that's actually the cage area from the raccoons, but I don't mind that because it's just a little peak. Still looks pretty natural, so let's stick with that. And we'll flip over here and take a look at it from the forest land perspective. And from here, it just looks like that's kind of built up. Obviously, we'll put more trees in this area I'm looking through now. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. So I can go left now to check out our black bears, or right to check out our white-tailed deer. Thinking. Oh, now I'm underneath the path. That's not what I wanted to do, no matter what. Let's drop down here. You know, those plants they're coming onto the path a little bit, but I don't mind that. Again, it's supposed to be kind of a foresty area, and let's just actually take a look at our white-tailed deers. There's the majestic buck. Yeah, I'm liking that a lot. I'm really kind of happy with that. Yeah, that's going to be great. That's going to be perfect. I think we've got another winning exhibit here. And our black bears. Yeah, those two exhibits, even though they are completely separate, blend in with each other really well, which is kind of what I was hoping would happen. So I am very pleased about that. Thank you once again to all those new subscribers that happened with the Black Bear video, and all the old subscribers that have been with me for a long time. Like I said, the white-tailed deers were inspired by comments left in the last video and videos beforehand, so if you have any animals you want to see, particularly forest animals in this current area, please don't hesitate to let me know. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the videos. That's all. I love getting comments, and it really inspires me to keep the series going, so please do. Thanks for watching today, and have a great day.